We were muted.
We were?
Yep.
Oh man, we were on.
I just read the comment right up there.
That was probably the best we sounded in the last game and a quarter.
Yeah, man. Oh, we were muted the entire time. Look at that.
Oh man, I'm embarrassed. That was my error. That's nothing to do with Keegan on that one. I was in control of the mute button. I thought I kicked it on, but
anyways, let's restart.
I don't know if we'll get that hot again. I'm serious, man. We're on. My name is Gary Allen. I'm half the broadcast team for Eastern. And I have a special guest with me, a player for Eastern Washington University, Keegan Clark, who I was saying earlier when I was muted. Thank you for the comment section. He does everything. He plays forward and defensive for Eastern's hockey team, and learned today he was an official. The guy's unlimited in his potential, it sounds like. So we'll get this back going again. I don't know, King. We were hot. We were on a roll that first 2 minutes.
It was too good to be true, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. I do that periodically. I forget to mute the thing, and Tyler has to tell me. The play-by-play guy for Eastern, he is actually flying back from Dallas right now. He couldn't join us. Tyler Pisani, he does a play-by-play for Eastern's hockey. He's the other half of this team. But I'm real happy to have Keegan with me because we did game down against WSU Cougars about a month ago. That was a blast down there in Moscow. So
I was saying then while we were muted, it's really been a fueling out process so far. You know, nobody really wants to make that first mistake. And the physicality that Sno-King has brought later in those second two periods have really carried over so far into this first 3 or so minutes.
Yeah, they started to open up using the body more, and I think they discovered that that's worked for them in that first game. Here comes Seattle. They busted in the end. That's Parhar that had the puck, lost a nice drop by the Sno-King player to even get it to him. Here comes Taylor. He comes in. He takes a quick shot. Nice shot by Taylor off that one. Kegeron had to be on top of his game. Well, that was an interesting angle that Taylor came in on.
Yeah, he used his speed, used a little bit of his body to shield off the puck and was able to get off a good shot.
He's quick. That's one thing I picked up on him in that first game. Taylor is fast. Lucas tried to keep it in for Tacoma. Stolen by Zachary Bogo. And we were told that's what his name, he goes by is Bogo because I guess nobody can pronounce his last name. So that's what we're going to go with. And I want to thank the person last game that sent that in to us. Zachary, he's a hustler. Here comes Tacoma breaking out of the end. It's going to be an icing all the way down. I thought they were going to wave that off for a minute. But like we were talking before, in that first game, Tacoma just dominated. They put just nothing but pressure on the Sno-Kings. And then starting that second, third period, Seattle kind of flipped the switch on Tacoma, and they started to put relentless pressure on them, and it worked for them. They were using the body like what you're saying, Keegan. They started to go to a more physical game, and it worked for them really well. Tacoma's trying to get it out of their end. Dickey just shot the puck behind Seattle's net. Here comes 13 in Seattle. Ballard had a strong game for the Sno-Kings the first go around at 2 o'clock today. Tacoma breaks out. They had it. Here's a quick backhand shot. That was by, I think it was Barbillon. It looked like it, Brandon.
Yeah, Barbillon got snuck behind the D on that one. Had the 2-on-1. His teammate went to go make a move, but it did end up on his stick by just being in the right position.
Yep.
And it's an early 1-0 lead yet again for Tacoma like it was earlier today. Let's see how Sno-King responds. Can they respond in the same way they did, earlier today, or is it going to be a little bit different?
Yeah, because they were down 2-0 quickly in that game, but nice job. Kenron, he kind of went down on the butterfly And Babion, he did a nice job of backhand up in the top corner on that. Excellent shot by him. Taylor gives chase down there. He's causing havoc for the Sno-Kings. Quick touch passes. Barhart got in behind the net. Here's a quick shot. Bushkin tried to do a one-timer. Nice job by the Rockets to block it down with their stick. I think that was Taylor that actually got a stick on that one. Taylor breaks out now. He's by himself. He takes a quick shot. And nice job by Kenron to smother it up because Taylor was all by himself. And last game, Taylor was tremendous out on the ice. He's quick. He's got a great hockey IQ. And then he just demonstrated it right there.
Yeah, he's got some size, and he uses it to his advantage.
Real heads up player. Great hand-eye coordination out of him. I was very impressed with him in the first game. He's taking the draw for Tacoma, and it looks like Wallace is taking it for Seattle. The puck just kind of squirted out. No one really won the draw per se. Quick shot by, looked like Taylor was the one that got it. He's back in for the draw against Wallace. Again, the puck just kind of squirted out, picked up by the Sno-Kings, by Ballard. He kicks it out. Zachary Bobo, he shoots it up in the net, but I think it went off of Rocket's stick. But what we mentioned in that first game, what Seattle did an excellent job the second and third period. They totally took away the shooting lanes and passing lanes on Tacoma, and that's what really helped them because that first period, they weren't, and Tacoma was just running all over them, and then Seattle made some nice adjustments and blocked up all the lanes.
Yeah, they made great adjustments as the game went on. They used, what the speed of Tacoma against them almost, and turned it around on them.
They will have an icing off this one. Tacoma tried to do a tip pass in and then missed, bounced over his stick and went all the way down. Here comes Tacoma breaking out there, and they're in the neutral zone. 2-on-2. Tacoma player went wide on it. That was looked like Shaw. Puck's laying right in front of the net. Nobody could grab it. Now Seattle's breaking out of their end. Parhart's the one that has the puck. He did a nice little deke around. He tried to kick it over to. He did get it out to Bushkin, who scored a ton last game. And Parhart just kept fighting for it to kick the puck out. And Bushkin was right there on the doorstep and just put it in the net. You got your answer there, Keegan. Seattle responded extremely well after that goal from Tacoma.
Yeah, they responded well. They just went to the front of the net, like we said in the last game. They're throwing the puck in front of the net, trying to create chaos, and they were rewarded for it that time again.
Here comes Seattle again on the attack. That's Rogers. He tried to get it out, bounced off a Tacoma player. Rogers gets it back and hit. That was a fluky, weird goal. But again, you got to give Rogers credit. He didn't give up on the play. He was deep in the corner and it went off the goaltender's back, what it looked like to me of a Blum's back.
Yeah, it looks like Rogers is going to get credit for that one. Just kind of threw it towards the net innocuously, and it just, took some ricochets, and all of a sudden it was in the net. And yeah. I don't think he realized where it was at all.
No, I think he thought he was up against the post a little bit tighter, and all Rogers did was, like I said, he did a backhand and went off the back. It looked like a Bloom. So nice job by Rogers on that. Now Seattle's 2-1, and you'll see what kind of momentum that'll build off him, especially after that victory earlier. Zielinski goes in. He got hit hard by Rocket. Here comes another shot. It looks like that goal really gave Seattle some momentum because they are putting on some heat.
Yeah, and now Tacoma, you're fighting from behind again. And It's a second game back to back. In the same day, it's hard, and especially when you're playing the same team. So look in the answer now with some speed.
Seattle has a puck behind the net, picked up, bounced off. Zachary Bobo picks it up. He's coming down full head of steam. He's waiting for line mates to put it on the stop. He takes a quick shot. Nice job by Bloom to kick that out with his pad. Down in the corner, there's a battle going on here. Looked like Bobo got kind of cross-checked when he was down on the ice. No call. Here comes Taylor. He's coming up. Nice job by Wallace on that, too. No, that was Ballard that knocked the puck away. And now Tacoma corrals the puck, trying to get it up. Taylor has the puck. Nice stop. Try to take a quick shot. Rogers bounced him off the puck. Taylor still has it. He's trying to stuff it in behind the net. Nice job by Kegron to put his pad out there. But again, we mentioned that first game. There's no quit in either of these teams. They keep going, and you can see right now, okay, Tacoma's down by a goal, but they're not letting up at all. They're doing a nice job of controlling the neutral zone. Right there, when I said that, here comes Butchkin again. He intercepted the pass in the neutral zone.
Popowalski, taking it from his defensive zone all the way in, but right back out off a missed shot. Sometimes if you can't hit the net, it generates a breakout for the other way.
Nice stop by Bloom on that one. That rose on him quickly. He has a quick glove hand, and he got it up in front of him. Again, it's another entertaining game. That first game was very exciting for people that were here in attendance, and they kind of picked up where they left off. Wallace is taking the draw for Seattle. I can't make out who's in Tacoma taking that draw. It looks like McGowan may be taking the draw for Tacoma. McGowan had a strong game in that first game also for the Rockets. I stand corrected. That was Shaw that took the draw on that one. I apologize for that. That was McGowan that did a nice job at riding off this Seattle player. Tacoma has the puck. They're down low. Seattle picks it up, try to kick it off. Lucas intercepts it, does a quick shot, but it hit off the backside of Zielinski.
Almost a fortunate bounce for Sno-King there. It did go off the zone defenseman. It was a good pass in front right there.
It was.
There was a fortunate bounce because I don't think their goalie even saw it. He was sliding out to his right and it was going left, and luckily it hit his defender, but could have been a tie game right there.
Well, there was heavy traffic in front of him, so I could see where I couldn't see it. Taylor tried to bring it in off, but it went offside his line mate. It looked like he was peeling off to go for a line change. Then he decided to go over, but he was a step too far over the blue line.
I think he got tied up behind the play, wasn't able to get up, and was a little frustrated maybe with the lack of a call, if there was one that he perceived that was needed.
Rogers takes the puck up. He tried to kick a quick pass over to Parhar. Went a little bit too far. Rogers has it again. He does a quick shot from a tight angle. Went straight up in the air. Now Tacoma settles it down. They're trying to bring it out, but nice back check. That was by Rogers again. He's had a strong game and a half. Parhar has it, just bounced it off the board. Kicks over to Tacoma's end. Here comes Taylor on the near board. He drops it off to Polinsky. He takes a quick shot. Kegron wasn't really sure where it went. It looked like he was trying to kick it off his pad, and it kind of got stuck.
It seemed like he couldn't quite find it at first, but no harm, no foul. He found it eventually and covered it up.
Oh, yeah. He's got a quick pass, too. He goes to that butterfly, and he does a nice job of kicking the legs out. 6:37 left in the first period. 2-1. The Sno-Kings from Seattle over Tacoma Rockets. Taylor wins the draw back over to Scott. Scott did a quick shot, bounced off of one of the Seattle players. Here comes Burnett. Wallace chases it. Louis got it. Kicked it over to Wallace. Went out front. Here comes Louis. Oh, and Wallace got us in there. It looked like Louis almost got his stick on it to tip it in and went past him. Wallace was just sitting there and then wide open. There was absolutely nothing Bloom could have done on that one. He was already over on his left, taking care of the post over there, and the puck just came out real quick on him and it's wide open. There's no way he could have slid over that quickly. The Rockets just kind of lost where the puck was, and now they're down 3-1. And it just looks like Seattle's building momentum as the game keeps going on. It looks like Seattle's getting more and more into the rhythm.
Looks like some frustration on the Tacoma bench.
Yeah.
I could see where that's coming from. You're down. You give up 3 early against almost in a must-win game at this point. You would be down, 0-2 going against Tri-Cities coming up, and Tri-Cities, from what we have gathered, has been very much a favorite in this tournament so far, and so then you're going against, like, as we could see, Sno-King had never beat Tacoma coming into this tournament, but they've come out 2 times now and have taken significant leads on them.
They have, and you said it. In a round robin, since these two played back to back, 1-1 is great. You're still in it. You go down 0-2, you just put a ton of pressure on you because basically you're going to have to win all your games to advance. And
not only that, you're going to need some help from the other team. You need the other team to beat the other one, and by with the different types of tiebreakers, it's going to probably take a tiebreaker if you go down 0-2, and you do not want it to go against the head-to-head.
Well, and then you got the point differential that plays in it too. So there's a lot of negatives if you go down 0-2. Again, it's not a lost cause, but it puts a lot of heat on you, and you don't have any room for error then. But we'll see. There's a ton of game left right now. Tacoma, they're playing hard, and so Seattle. It's just they're not getting the bounces, and like Seattle has. And again, Seattle's creating a lot of their own bounces, but I do like how Tacoma plays, and we'll see. It'll be interesting now between first and second if they go back to that first game style of attacking. They haven't done it this period as much as they did that first game in the first period, but that worked well for Tacoma in that first game. Wallace is taking the draw for Seattle. I think Taylor's for Tacoma. He won the draw. Stetcher was into battling. He finally kicked it out to his defense, but a quick tip went behind Seattle's net. A nice tip shot. Stetcher again, he has the puck. He just shot it in the corner. Again, it looks like Tacoma's trying to do some tip-ins now that they're setting up on the outside of the post, and they're looking for that tip. Good job by Bloom just to smother it up.
Yeah, you went for a stretch pass there, and it, body's in the way, and luckily it didn't die in front of him, and it would have been, a quick break back the other way. But, great start for Sno-King so far. Tacoma's got to get back to that game like we were talking about in the first period of the first game. And if they think they can get back to that, they'll end up being, a lot better.
Well, right now it looks like the Sno-Kings kind of reversed it on. They're the ones trying to put the most pressure. They're sending 2 people in now, too. Here comes Zelensky. He goes in low. He takes a quick shot. Nice stop by Bloom. Rebound came out to Taylor. He just shoots it in behind the net. He gives chase. Zelensky picks it up for the Sno-Kings. Kicks it over to Louis. He bounced it back over. intercepted by McGowan. And went off his stick. Here comes Rogers. He drops it back to Buskin. Nice stop by Bloom on that one. That was a nice little drop pass, though, by Louis. Picks it up again. He's behind the net. Two Seattle players ran into each other. And now Tacoma's back on the attack. Poplinski, he tried to tip the pass in, went a little bit too far for him. Seattle recovered it. Rogers has it, kicks it up to Butskin. They peel off to do a line change. Shaw's back there. He tried to kick it up in the boards there in the neutral zone. Poplinski had it. Nice job by Wallace to come back on a back check, knock the puck away from him. And we'll have an offside on Tacoma. 3:09 left in the first period. Dickey's taking the draw for Tacoma. He wins it, but then lost it. Wallace tried to kick it over on that draw. Went a little bit too far for him. Benatti, he had it. He kicked it over to Wallace. Wallace back to Benatti. Back to Wallace. Wallace tried to put it out front. Nobody was home, but nice play by those two. And that's what I noticed with Seattle right now. They're not delaying. They're doing tape to tape. They're not stopping the puck. They just know they're playing that anticipatory style. And it's working really well for them. It doesn't let Tacoma set up at all on their defense.
I noticed on the goals that have gone in so far for Sno-King, that it seems like Blum is having a tough time with tracking the puck right now. It seems like he's losing it in some cases, not really seeing it, whether it's screens in front or just not being able to find it at all. And Sno-King has got advantage of it and capitalized really well.
Well, that's one difference. I'm glad you brought that up, because one thing I've noticed Seattle's doing, they're putting a lot of traffic in front of Bloom now. And I don't know if that's something they designed to do it, but they didn't do that so much the first game. This game, they're definitely making sure a couple players are down. They're trying to block his sight. Buskin gets it. He kicks it back over to his D-man. That was Zielinski who picked it back up to Buskin. He goes in down low, try to get it all the way around the net. Didn't quite get to his defense, but nice job. That was by Sweeney. Outstanding job by him to block that, because the rocket was, and I think that was, Dickey that was full speed. If he would have got by, that would have been a breakaway. Excellent play by the Sno-Kings. Rogers is in for the draw for Seattle. Taylor's in for Tacoma. Rogers wins it, but Tacoma intercepts it, dumps it all the way in the corner behind the net now in Seattle's. And Seattle's on the breakout. Louis gets it. He just kicks it in. That's Parhar. He's got it. He goes behind the net, tries to put it out front. Nobody was there. Nice play by Parhar, though. Zielinski tried to kick it over and went outside the blue line. They have to recoup. Zielinski has the puck again. He just shoots it in. Wallace gives chase, and Lucas is behind the net. He wraps it around, and here comes the Rockets. Taylor has the puck. He's trying to go around two. Sno-Kings got in pretty well, got a little deep. Kenron did a nice job of just kicking that puck out to his D-man. Ballard has the puck. Kicks it over to Wallace. Wallace does a nice job to Zachary Bobo. He has the puck. He's trying to break into the side. Took a hard angle shot. Now Bloom just kind of pushed it off the side. Ballard has it. He's on the top of the slot. He does a one-timer. Nice job by Bloom to even get his glove on it. Outstanding shot by Ballard.
I feel like for Sno-King, if there's one guy you don't want to give that much room, time, and space from the top of the point, it's definitely Ballard.
Yeah.
He's got a hard shot, good hockey IQ, and he took advantage of the ice he was given.
Now, what I like what he did, he had it at the top of the slot. He snuck down, got it in the middle, had a nice shot, a nice job by Bloom to answer on that one. Morris has it, tries to kick it up. Bobo has it. He just got buried into the boards. That was by Lucas. And we have a nice job by Bloom. He just smothered the puck up. 13 seconds left in this first period. Very entertaining first period, Keegan. I thought they're both trying to use their speed. I think Seattle's done a good job of controlling the neutral zone. And that's kind of slowed down the Rockets.
Yeah, and it seems like the Rockets are trying to answer with some physicality of their own. We saw that hit right there by Lucas on Bobo, and it was a hard one. It shook up Bobo a good amount. Or Bogo. Apologize. It shook him up a good amount, and I think that's part of the frustration maybe for Tacoma so far. And I think that's something that they want to try to get in the head of Sno-King about.
Well, I think also, hockey, if you can start using the body, that's a great way to slow a team down. You just got to be careful if you're going to do that, especially in the neutral zone. That's where usually if you go physical, sometimes there's a lapse and they'll beat you in that neutral zone. But if you can do the body and control the neutral zone, that can go a long ways for you. And both teams are starting to use the body more as this game goes on. A lot more hitting this game than the first time they met earlier.
Yeah, and I think some of that urgency is starting to creep in early for Tacoma. I mean, I think they realize go down 0-2, it's going to be a big hole for us to have to dig out of. And I think that urgency, I like looking at the body language so far as when they're getting on the ice, when they're getting off the ice. Right now it's just a lot of frustration, it seems like, for Tacoma. And they've been good, though. They just need to stick to what they're doing. Right now the bounces aren't coming. Clean up the defensive zone maybe a little bit, and I think we'll be fine.
Dageron has had an outstanding game. He did in the first period. But he's a tough netminder, and that'll start wearing on you after a while if you don't start putting the puck in the net. And that for your shooter, starts weighing on him, like, how are we going to beat this guy? And rather than just playing reaction hockey, you start thinking, and that's when you get yourself into some trouble. But it's been a very good game, back and forth. Both teams are doing an excellent job. But I know in that first period, in that first game, there was a great adjustment by the Seattle coaching staff to do it. And so it'll be interesting to see what Tacoma comes up with, even though they have only 2 minutes to make an adjustment. But we'll see how they come out and play off this one. But we got Taylor's taking the draw for the Rockets, and it looks like Crosby Rogers for the Sno-King. Parhar's out there, as is Buskin for Seattle. That's an awful stout line for Seattle. They play extremely well together.
Yeah, and they have a relatively short bench, only 11 guys on the team. So, you learn to play with these guys a lot, and you learn to figure out their habits and how they play. So it's one of those scenarios that you've probably been playing with each other for, 5-6 months now. You learn those guys' patterns and how they're going to play.
Yeah, and that's part of that reaction hockey. And my hunch is they played more than 5 months together. They just seem to know exactly where each other's going to be. They do a lot of blind passes, and you don't do that unless you're real comfortable knowing where your line mates are going to be, and they do that quite a bit. Morris did a great job of bringing the puck in, and then he took the body on one of the Rockets, and the puck's down in his end. But I think the first 5-6 minutes of this period is crucial for Tacoma. I don't think they want to give up that next goal just because Seattle's gaining momentum as long as this game keeps going on. You can see it in how the body language is, like you mentioned, just how they're skating. It's real crucial to Tacoma gets the next goal. Wallace is in the draw for Seattle. He wins it. Kicked it over to Ballard. Ballard tried to push it up. Intercepted by a Rocket. They just dump it back into the Rockets' hand. Here comes Wallace for Seattle. He loses the puck, but that was nice back checking by Tacoma on that one. Puck's in the neutral zone. Morris tries to kick it over. Quick shot by Taylor on that one. Munchkin had it. He lost it. It's in the near corner. And here comes Ballard. He's trying to break. He was trying to intercept the pass, and then went by. Dickey got in. There's going to be a penalty on Tacoma, which they did need. Here comes Ballard. He swings around looking for a lineman. One timer, quick shot, went high over the net. Ballard picks it up again. He's looking. Wallace is screaming for it. He dumps it in behind the net. Ballard picks it up. Nice job by Tacoma just to ride it off to get that whistle. The Seattle was definitely gaining a lot of momentum. They were doing a nice job of cycling, especially Sweeney, who set that whole thing up to get that thing moving. But yeah, Tacoma can't afford to take penalties right now, being down by 2. That Dickey's going into the box. I didn't see what they're called on him, but he's the one that got the penalty. Now you got that line of Rogers, Buskin, Ballard's out there. It looks like Parhar's out there and Sweeney's out there. Sweeney's a good little defenseman. I picked them up. He moves the puck really well for him. He kind of sets everything up for him on the power play. Buskin has the puck. He dumps it out. Picks over Sweeney. Sweeney kicks it back over. That's Ballard. That was tipped up by Buskin over the net. But nice little tape passes on that one. They definitely didn't let Tacoma get set up at all on even their diamond or box. They did not let them set up one bit on that. Rogers he wins the draw. Parham had it. Puck rolled off his stick. Buskin knocks the puck down off the boards. Tried to take a quick shot. Excellent job by the Rockets to get in front of the puck. That was Blitzky that did it. Here comes Luca. Lucas has it. He takes a quick shot. Taylor tries to backhand down in front. Nobody was there. It looks like, even though Tacoma's down a guy, it looks like they're on the power play right now.
Yeah, being very, very aggressive as they need to be. And I feel like it's causing a lot of havoc for Sno-King right now, and they're not being able to get the puck out of the net.
Well, they're not letting them set up by their attacking style. Here comes a quick shot. That was by Rogers, just smothered by Bloom on that one. 13:44 left in the second period. 1 minute 3 seconds left on the penalty to Dickey. Rogers is taking the draw for Sno-Kings. Puck won by Tacoma. They kicked down in the neutral zone. Parhard got it. He dekes around one of the Rockets. Outstanding job, and that was by Lucas that really stopped any kind of momentum Seattle was gaining on that. And I got an update on that rule what I was talking about when you told me about the icing.
Yeah.
They're going to change the rule back.
Yes, they are. They are changing that rule back.
I just cannot understand that one. I don't know what they were thinking when they changed it.
Seems like Sno-King seems content leaving out this line for the duration of this power play. And usually it's not a trust thing. It's usually more a this is who we want.
Yeah. They're set on it. They know this is what they want to do. And they change quick enough where they should get that tired. Morris is looking for the puck for Seattle. They're trying to get it to him, but the Rockets are doing a great job of tying up the Sno-Kings right now. Puck comes down the neutral zone. Morris uses his body, but nice work by Scott. He had it, but then he lost it.
Stetcher did a great job bodying off his opponent right there and prevented the turnover, from going too far.
Sno-King tried to do a quick backhand, bounce off the netminder. Here comes the Rockets. That's the Baron. He came all the way around, almost intercepted by Buskin on that one. The Rockets trailer was a nice little pass by Shaw between his legs. That was if he was trying to get the Baron. The puck, nice little play by him. Wallace steps in, intercepts it. He comes in. He decides to bring it in all the way in. Quick shot blocked by a Rocket. That was Dick. And I thought had it. It came back to him. I think he did it one time and went a little wide on the net. Tacoma tried to corral it back in and went in there and Bloom just decided, no, we're going to tie it up right now. 11:29 mark in the second period. I'll tell you, it's been a very entertaining game, just like that first game was. Wallace is at the draw for Seattle. He wins it. Tied up, though. Quick shot by the Sno-King. And I think that was Benate got it. Did a quick shot. Wallace back in for the draw. The Rockets won it. That was
Shaw.
Yeah. Stretch pass over to Shaw. He just dumps it in behind the Sno-King's net. Puck picked up by Zielinski. He tries to kick it out over to Zachary Bogo. Now the Rockets are putting a little bit more pressure on it. Now it's reminding me a little bit more. We got a little push and shoving going on with Shaw. And I can't make out the guy that was battling with for the Sno-Kings. But I think that was number 18, Zielinski. But I noticed that Tacoma's starting to put two players back in like they did that first period of the first game. See if it can generate some turnovers. Rogers won the draw over Taylor. Puck bounces in, tips off of the Sno-King, or the Rocket, pardon me on that one. That was off of McGowan. He puts it up to Stenger. He had it, lost the puck. And here comes Ballard again. That play was all set up by Ballard. I know he's going to get an assist on that one, but he's the one that did all the dirty work on that, and he finally got the pass kicked over. And I think, again, if I'm not mistaken, that's Buskin again that got the goal. How many points has he got so far in a game and a half?
Yeah, Parhar took a great play and slid it over, as took a hit, made a play, got it right over to his line mate, who just ripped one and wasn't able to have the goalie get set. So it made it a 4-1 game. Just over halfway through the second period.
Again, that's Ballard that set that whole thing up, because he didn't stop. He kept battling it. Buskin just kind of got out and slid over to the side, and he was wide open for that shot. But 4-1, Tacoma's going to have to answer here pretty quick.
Yeah, they are.
Morris takes his body. Morris has been using his body a lot this game. I've noticed that for the Sno-Kings. Tacoma gets the puck. Kicks out. That's Lucas. He got the quick one-timer. Nice save Kenron on that. Here comes Seattle again. That was Louis. Did a quick shot. Bloom patted it out. Another quick shot. Went over the top. That was Louis. He just never stopped. He just kept going on. The puck was loose. I don't know. I didn't see who kicked it out to Louis, but he took the shot and it went right over the shoulder of Bloom on that one. He made the initial shot, but this way it came off his stick and went right up over the top of him in the back of the net. 5-1. The Rockets are dealing with some dangerous territory now if they don't start answering here pretty quick. Taylor's taking the draw for the Rockets, and Rogers took it for Sno-King. Won the draw, and then they lost it. Now here comes the attack by Tacoma. Taylor got it, takes a one-timer in the slot. Nice stop by Kenron. Another quick shot. One thing also Seattle's doing more of in this game, they're putting their body in front of the puck. It's not even getting to the net minor some of the time. Rogers battling and so are Parhar. They were both battling. Sketchy. He did a nice job of getting his body in the way of it, and they couldn't really get a break off on it. Setcher is all over the place. So if you notice that with Tacoma, every time you look around, he's got his nose in some kind of battle. He's been an impressive player so far.
I think if you're Tacoma, you just have to keep things keep your head on straight, and just keep working. Bounces just aren't going their way tonight at all, and maybe they need to clean up some rebounds. Maybe it's just an effort thing, and it just seems like it hasn't worked out. And is just as I say that, a little bit of a favorable bounce to get a decent shot off.
But you're right though, it's just the puck's just not bouncing for him. Like right there, Taylor had a nice little shot, and again, Kenron was there, stood tall, but they're just not getting it. And it seems like everything that Seattle's throwing on the net right now is a scoring chance. Seattle's breaking up on the near bar. That's Parhar. He has it. He tries to look for a pass over to Rogers, but that was nicely snuffed out by a Rocket player. I think that was Pavlinski that got his body in the way of it. Tacoma just seems to have trouble getting in their passes through the passing lanes. And again, you got to give Seattle credit. They're they're clogging everything up on that. 7:56 left in the second period. 5-1. The Sno-Kings on top of the Rockets. Louis has the puck for Sno-King. He tried to get in there, but nice job by the Rocket player. That was stopped by McGowan. Puck didn't get through the net. Again, you look at Seattle's just attacking. It's like it seems like in the neutral zone, they just go in the attack mode. They don't even worry about anything else. Dickey picks up the puck for Tacoma. He decides to settle it down, tries to kick it out, went a little bit too far. Snuffed out. Here comes the Rockets again. That's a quick shot, smothered up by Kenron. And that was a really nice play by Babon. He took it up all the way to the far side and cut in. Did a nice job on that one. Face off one by Tacoma. The quick shot smothered up by Kenron. That was a nice little shot by Lucas from the point. But again, you just look at the hustle on that one. That was Parhar. And then
Bushkin again on the turnaround shot. Goalie wasn't really looking, and it went right to him in front of the net and a quick shot. And it's now 6-1 here in the second period, and now they're in a real big hole.
Yeah, they're in a major hole. We're gonna call it like it is.
Yeah.
Bushkin, I mean, he just seems to be in the right place, the right time every time. The guy's just been incredible.
That makes it the early hat trick already. 2 goals last game, 3 goals this game. 5 goals already on the tournament.
All I know is Tri-City, they better be aware of this line when they play Seattle, because this line's on fire right now. Everything they touch, they seem to get a shot on net. No, you mentioned it earlier in that first period where frustration is playing a part. Now you can really, Tacoma's got to be extremely frustrated right now because they don't have an answer for Kenron right now, how to beat him.
Yeah, and they also don't want to do anything that would cost them games later on. Don't want to get hurt, don't want to get suspended.
Yeah.
And so you have to, keep your head on straight at the same time and try to just refocus and take it one goal at a time.
But as you know, as a player, that's easier said than done. When you're looking at that scoreboard, you're down by 5, and you just can't. Oh, there's a big hit by. Was it?
Stetcher threw a big hit there. Rogers seems to took an exception to that.
Yeah, well, that's what I was looking at. I was looking at who the Seattle player was, and now we're seeing a little extra stick activity out of Tacoma when they were coming back down. So I think the officials are well aware of this. This game could start becoming chippier as the time goes on. Puck comes all the way out into Tacoma's end. Pavlinski has it. Kicks it up. Barron, he just shot the puck in. They gave chase. Comes a quick shot by Pavlinski. Nice job by Kenron. Just kick it over to his own player, actually, off of that. That was not. Ballard's unhappy with himself. That was a great heads-up play by him. He was seeing his line mate break up on the near side, and he tried to get it to him on a quick stretch pass. Went a little bit too far. They got an icing, but that was a great play by Ballard to even see him breaking. He's had an outstanding game. Both games, he's constantly say his name almost all the time when he's on the ice. Gown tried to go around one of the players. Nice play by him, but the puck rolled off his stick. Well, Keegan, if you were the coaching staff of Tacoma, what would you tell them to try to turn this around?
I think I would just try to make it simple. I think that in some cases they're trying to be a little too complicated and not getting enough shots through and onto the net. They're having troubles with certain, trying to make too many passes or be a little too fancy. And so far, to an extent, it has cost them. And I think that to generate offense, you kind of go back to basics, keep their head on straight, and keep going back and start working harder. And it's frustrating, but I think you just got to start clearing the front of the net and kind of hoping, things start turning around.
I'd be curious if they finally get a goal, see if that would turn it around for them, because it's got to be weighing on them right now. Poblinski brings it in himself, takes a quick shot. Nice job by Kenron to kick his pad out and get it behind him. We're seeing a little bit more attack style right now with Tacoma in the last minute. Kenron does a nice job just smothering it. I think he recognized it also. Let's regroup. But Seattle's doing an outstanding job of putting pressure on Tacoma. Every time they move, there's a player from Seattle right on top of the blocket player. Seattle wins the draw. They bring it out. There we go again. That's Bushkin. He got taken down. He's wondering what happened.
Well, Parmar seemed to be, asking for a call, but I'm pretty sure he took him. He kind of fell on himself, and then I think Bushkin wasn't able to react in time, and able to avoid him.
Well, you got to give him credit for trying.
Yeah.
Scott has it. He takes a wind up, hits his own player in front of the net.
And if you're Sno-King, it's going to be hard to get a call coming down the rest of the way, just based on the score right now. Yeah, and whether or not that's not really a conscious choice of an official. Being an official myself, it's not really a conscious choice.
Yeah.
You're more thinking about, they're up 6-1. Why do I need to make this call?
Wallace is taking the draw for Seattle. He loses it. That was a nice job by Kappa King. Here comes Morris. He's up on his wheels. He's going all the way end to end. He decides to dump it. Hits off the official. But Ballard picks it up in the neutral zone, kicks it over to Wallace. Wallace spins back around, kicks it over to Ballard. Puts Ballard up there. He goes in. He takes a quick shot. Bloom got it. But again, there's that attack. If you look at it, Ballard took that shot at the top of the slot, and he kept going in, and he got another shot on top of the netminder. He did a nice job. Bloom was smothering it, but he just kept going. He did, and that's what I've noticed about Seattle. Unless you put the body on him, they're going to keep going on top of you.
Yeah, it seems like he's having, trouble with some rebounds, so they're trying to take advantage of it, and they've taken advantage of it so far. Well, that's going to be offsides, unfortunately. For Tacoma, they're trying to generate this offense, and it seems like it's been stifled through whistles or just not being able to get pucks through or, turnovers, and it's just not working out so far right now.
Well, that was a great example when you're just saying they just can't get the puck through. I mean, they had it. They had a 2-on-1 going. The guy was a little bit about 2 strides in too far. Lucas tried to go a pass between his leg and it rolled off of him. Seattle picks it up there in the neutral zone. Louis had it. They got an offside on that one. That was intercepted nicely by one of the Rockets.
Unfortunately, had just crossed the line back the other way, and it's one of the things where that's tough. That's a tough thing to do. And, that's a tough break, unfortunately, for Tacoma. And
well, that was McGowan. He intercepted. He was going for it, and he had a full steam ahead going for that. And, but it was offside. Good call by the official.
And I think there's also a level of they're trying to do it all themselves now, and unfortunately, it's just not. It happens in these type of games where you're kind of blown out. You think I gotta do it, and really you just gotta go back to basics, be a team, and it works. That's what's worked so far for Sno-King. They're getting assists on every one of their goals.
Well, they gotta still believe in the process of their system, and you're right. They've went away from it, and there's more stick handling than what we've seen earlier, where they did more passing by Tacoma. Now they're trying to carry it in a little bit too long, and it's hurting them.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you just got to work on and try to go back to basics. Is what I've been saying. That I would say as a coach too. Just got to go back to basics. Work out one goal, one shift at one period at a time. Hopefully, you can build some momentum and it works. Just as we say there, it looked like Rogers got a glove on that to keep the puck out of the goal. That puck was going in the net.
It was.
It flat out was going in the net. Rogers was able to keep it out with his glove, and that's what we were talking about. Those balances just aren't going the way of Tacoma right now. And right now, it looks like we're going to get matching penalties. There's some pushing subbing right after that.
You hit it right on the head on that. You talked about not getting a bounce. That puck was loose. Nothing but rockets around the puck, and they just, I mean, there was a couple times that net was wide open. They just couldn't corral it to get it in, and they just can't catch a break in this game right now. And again, you got to give Seattle a ton of credit for it, but there's an example. It's just not going. The bouncer's just not going for the Rockets right now.
It just doesn't seem like it's working out too well for them.
And I didn't see who they took off, but they took one player off of each team. We'll see it once it gets on the board who the penalties will
It looks like it's Quincy Nelson won't go on the board, but it looked like
no.
Rogers and McGowan will end up serving these penalties.
You are right. It's coincidental. It won't go on the board. I was hoping to go on the board so I could see who got him. Lord steps in. The puck comes out. Here comes Taylor. He's trying to get it going, but nice job again. Who is that? Ballard.
Ballard again. It seems like every time that sort of situations happen, he's very, very good at either being able to take the man or take the puck. He doesn't get caught in between, and he's able to stay inside.
Well, he does an outstanding job. I've noticed him. His angles are excellent. He lines himself up. So, like you said, okay, if it's 2-on-1, okay, I'm going to try to go for the pass. I'm not going to go for the block shot. He just positions himself extremely well, but he's everywhere. And you just look, and the guy just seems, I don't know if he's taking a break. I mean, he just seems to be out there a ton.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it at all. Right now he's on the bench, but is he really? It seems like every time that Tacoma's tried to get something through, Ballard's there to stop it.
Yep. And 2 outstanding games so far.
Scrum in the corner. A little 2-on-2 battle. Squirts right back out in front. Just can't seem to get a shot on net again like we were talking about, and here comes Parhar.
And that time they had 3 Rockets against 1, and they couldn't corral the puck. Here comes Shaw. He's looking for a lineman. He's in the near corner. I think that's Sweeney that wrote him off.
And that will do it for our 2 periods. We're going to get an ice cut real quick. 6-1.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you could adjust to. I mean, and I like how you keep saying keeping it basic, and you got to figure out how do you get that first goal. And I think once you do, that'll get you a little belief like, okay, we can get the puck behind Kenron. But right now, it's a tough hill to climb up. But we will see what happens when we come back for that 3rd period. And again, we're here on the Eastern Washington University campus at the URC U18 state tournament. And right now it's all Sno-King 6-1 over the Rockets. But we might as well kick in here. We got some sponsors that I want to give a shout out to. We got Holiday Inn Express and Suites. They've been a major sponsor of EWU's hockey for I don't know how many years now. Doubletree by Hilton, Spokane City Center, Farmhouse Restaurant, Barrel House Pizza, Tea Party Podcast. We got Bucks for Fighting Apparel. All these sponsors have been with us for a long, long, long time. We appreciate them. They stepped up to help out in this tournament. Kudos to them. But again, Keegan Clark and I, Gary Allen, will be taking a break, and we'll be back in about 11 minutes. Welcome back, hockey fans, to the U18 state tournament at the URC in Cheney, Washington, Eastern Washington University campus. My name is Gary Allen, joined by Keegan Clark, who is a player for the EWU Eagles hockey team. And right now, going into the third period, 6-1, Sno-King's over Tacoma Rocket. And what do you think their take is for the Rockets to try to get Claw back in here? I know he kept talking basic, which is good, but what do you think they need to do, Keegan?
Honestly, I think they just need to keep their head on straight, not get into the battles and the ugly stuff. Need to keep their head on straight and try not to do it themselves. I think they're falling in a little bit of a trap of trying to do it too much of themselves. And they're not being able to, do the game that was successful early on in the first game. It even throughout the whole first game, a lot of it was power play goals that Sno-King scored, and the complete opposite has happened in this game, where they've given up 6 5-on-5 goals, and it just hasn't really worked out for them.
Well, I think you're almost to the point now is you may, which is going to sound strange, but you may accept the fact you're not going to pull this game out. So now work on stuff that okay, we're going to try to implement this for the next couple games we play and try to get this ship turned around.
Yeah, and I think that's just what they got to work on, is just try to turn this around, try to win this period. Even if you don't win the game, try to win this period in particular, and I think you can build off of that.
Well, that's the beauty about a round robin. You're not out, even though you're digging yourself on the hole being 0-2, but start zeroing in on what you got to do differently for the next couple games. Even though there's still 15-22 left in this, and I know it's not a defeatist attitude. It's just like, okay, this game may be out of our control, but we still got at least 2 more to play. If we pop those, get a little help somewhere else, we could still be in that final game. What do we got to try differently to see if they can get a goal or 2 on this netminder, Kenron? He's just been stout. But we'll see what the Rockets do. I know they've used the body a little bit more in that second period. But we'll just see how they settle in. They haven't quit, but I think you hit it when we were talking in between periods. They kind of went away from their system, more individual style of play, and that doesn't work well for them.
And it really doesn't work well for any team, especially even at this level. It just, you got to be 5-on-5 the entire way, or 5-on-4. There are 5 players on the ice. You can't go through and work through all by yourself to get these shots on net.
Well, yeah, you're right. It just doesn't work that way. But they have to get back, settle down, and start playing their system. And that'd be one thing I think the coaches were probably going to talk to them in between periods. Like, quit playing the individual game, get back to the team concept game.
Taylor's going to pick up the puck. He'll carry it forward. Takes a hard shot. Swallowed up by Crayon.
He's an outstanding hockey player. Taylor is. He's just superb hockey player for the Rockets. And actually, again, Tacoma, they're not quitting. It's just they got away from what was working for them in that first period and the first game they played. And they just got to get back to it. You keep mentioning it, but back to basics in their style. Scott chases the puck down. He was, but
looks like it's going to be offsides. Benate went a little too early, and it just couldn't quite hold up. And now it's going to go all the way back down.
So they're calling an intentional offside.
I think it's because that's where the pass came from, unfortunately. So it'll be Wallace versus Dickey once again to the left of Crayon.
The Crayons played well. I can see how Tacoma got frustrated going against him.
Yep. Ballard's going to take the puck up by himself.
Ballard's all over the place. He's just constant everywhere. Here comes the Rockets back, but it's 2-on-2. Quick stop. That was by Dickey. Puck rolls off in the near boards. And again, here comes Ballard. He does a nice little pass up on top there. The Rocket got a stick in the way of that pass. We got Rogers taking the draw for Seattle. Looked like Sno-King took it for the Rockets. From Zelensky, he takes a quick shot. Somehow Zelensky got that puck back to him. He did a one-timer. There's Bushkin. He just keeps putting points on all over the place. How many he's got now? He got 5 goals so far in 2 games.
Yep, 5 goals so far in 5 periods. Yeah. And you know, I think he's contributed very well in other ways. You know, finds the open space, knows where to go. Is a big hit right there, and a little bit of back and forth.
Well, Taylor took a body on Louis pretty hard. Buskin came in, but it was smart, and I like what Buskin did. He just they did the initial shove. Taylor wanted to keep going with it. Buskin kind of went away because there's no way you want to get yourself bounced at this point in the game.
Sounds like we got a penalty coming up. Looks like it might be on Taylor. A little bit of discussion.
Well, Taylor took that extra shot toward the end.
Yeah, and he didn't have the initial hit that was mostly from behind. I am a bit surprised not to see Bushkin also go on the retaliatory side with the cross check coming up high. But sounds like they got the initial penalty, and that seems to be it for right now.
Well, I think that's what Bushkin did a nice job. He just kind of pulled up after he took his initial shot, and I think the referees let that one go. I know the Rockets coaches, they're not happy with not seeing a penalty called on the Sno-Kings. And there's absolutely no way that Tacoma keep taking penalties. It's haunted them for 2 games now.
Yeah, I think it's been difficult for them so far. I think that's contributed to their frustration a little bit, is they're taking these penalties, and Sno-King capitalized them a good amount in the first game.
I like that pairing with Sweeney and Ballard though out on the point. They've played together before. They just read off each other extremely well. And it looks like Ballard's more of an offensive-minded defenseman, and Sweeney's more to stay at home, and that frees up Ballard to do his offensive part.
Good drop pass by Ballard.
That was a sweet.
Bushkin in front, and Rogers going to bury it. It looks like another rebound out in front, and he just tips it, small little push right in front of the net, and that'll make it 7-1.
Well, there's only so much Bloom can do.
Yeah.
He made the initial save. He tried to kick the rebound out away from trouble, and there was a Sno-King player, just set right there on the corner. But their positioning's been really well done, designed this game. So they're ready for whichever direction Bloom wants to kick the rebound out of, but 7-1's a big hill to climb now. But here comes the Rockets back in, intercepted by Morris.
It seems just more of that selfish hockey to an extent. I hate using the word selfish, but it is, and they're making these same mistakes over and over again, and it just seems like whether it's something the coaches haven't or have said, and either it's just not getting through, or they're not, or that hasn't been said, and it just seems to not have been working so far.
But you got to tip your cap to the Sno-Kings. They have played a relentless game today. They're playing better this game than they did the first game, even though they won that game. But they came out in attack mode from the start of this, and they haven't let up at all.
It's almost like they, spilled the proverbial blood in the water.
Yeah.
Type of thing. They, all right, we got them the first time. Let's see if we can get them again the second time. And so far they have.
There's a great example of it. There's a wide open net. And they just can't get their stick on the puck on that one. I'll give credit to Ballard that got us in the way of it, but they just seem to be a stride off this game compared to the first game that they played. And that's not taking anything away from Tacoma. They they came out again. They got the first goal in this game. They got the first two in the first game. And it just seems like they almost like waiting for something to go wrong after they got that lead. And the Sno-Kings have definitely taken advantage of that. I do like Tacoma. I can see him coming back in the next game they play, but they're going to have to do some soul searching on how they went away from their system. But again, maybe that's part of the Sno-Kings. They took them out of their system and they didn't have an answer for it.
I don't know if it's, a little bit of the travel legs or, like the travel legs, the second game of a back-to-back, that probably doesn't help. But that also affected Sno-King.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So who really is it? Here comes Bushkin again. Good poke check by Bloom.
What are they, like about 30 miles away, 40 miles difference? So, I mean.
Yeah, not entirely too far, but that, with Seattle, west side traffic, that's a whole hour almost. So, I think that they just need to go back tonight, reset, go to bed early.
I totally concur with that. It's just, for whatever reason, Seattle's come out on fire. And for not beating this squad all year, it's like, dang, they decided, no, we're going to show them what we have.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them tomorrow, they're up against the clock right away. It's a 9:30 start against Tri-Cities, who we know have been considered the favorites coming into this tournament. And then they play another game against Tri-Cities back-to-back. And by that time, if you don't have those two wins, you're done by Friday. And so it's a tough situation for a team, to come in down 0-2 already, and now you're facing the favorites in a tournament on a back-to-back in 4 games in 2 days. It's a hard thing. So immediately, if I was a Tacoma player, coach, parent, whatever, I would tell my kid, or if I was that kid, to go back, go to sleep, get up decently early, get a good breakfast in, and come back to play back like you were at the beginning of this tournament.
The one thing I think Tacoma has in their advantage going against Tri-Cities is Tri-Cities coming in cold. They haven't had a game today. Tacoma's had 2 now. And the coaching staff, and I'm positive they'll do this, they'll get the team together, most likely at the motel, and sit down and tell them what they have to work on. And it depends on how they start against Tri-Cities. If they can jump on them quickly, they may have an advantage on that. But, yeah, I'm totally with you. They can't lose that first game tomorrow against them.
Yeah, I think you have to at least get one against Tri-Cities in order to stay in this. In all honesty, you probably have to get both in order to stay in this championship game. Even if right now Sno-King goes out there, unless it's, some blowout, and you end up, you have to at this rate, the way the point system works out, you have to win both games tomorrow, and it's become them a must-win situation for Tacoma.
But again, with Tacoma, and I'll give them credit, they haven't quit, so that's a great sign for them. They just got to go back and regroup and try to settle themselves down, because they're a good hockey team. Seattle right now is just playing better, and that's what it comes down to. They're playing more of a team game. Everything's working for Seattle. Tacoma can't get a lucky bounce, so we'll see how they bounce back tomorrow against Tri-Cities. And since I haven't seen Tri-Cities, I don't know. I've heard that, like you have, that they were favored to win this, but I haven't seen them. So you never know. You never know what will happen. But I'm with you. Tacoma's going to have to come out tomorrow and start off fast.
Bogo tried to get the puck in. Freilich. And some pushing and shoving now. Dickey went for a hit on Morris. Didn't do so successfully. And it looks like Benante is going to go off. He was pushing and shoving around with a Tacoma player. It looked like Freilich at some point during the play a couple different times finally got caught on this one.
Well, now, if I was Seattle's coaching staff, I would definitely let them know, don't fall into any of this. Don't get trapped into retaliating on anything. Just skate away if you got to, which is hard if you have a physical team. But right now everything's going for the Snow Kings. No sense in risking a game suspension or anything for retaliatory play. But now here's a great start for Tacoma. They got the man advantage. Let's see if they can pop a goal in.
We saw their man advantage, yesterday or earlier today. It feels like yesterday. It was a long time ago. But they're working for those tips, those rebounds in front, and they just weren't able to capitalize. Hopefully, if you're Tacoma, you're looking to, push that, puck over the line this time instead of, these redirections that don't quite go anywhere.
Man, we've talked about it. This is a great opportunity. Go back to basics, get that goal. Start feeling good about yourself again offensively. But just get that goal, see what happens off of that. But there's Ballard. He's everywhere. He takes a quick shot. Bloom kicked it out, but then actually kicked it right back to Ballard, who takes another shot. And Bloom just smothered it, get the whistle on it. But Tacoma just seems out of sync right now. And that first game, I didn't think so. They played a great team concept game. They just totally seemed discombobulated in this game. And again, you got to give credit to Seattle for that. They forced their will on them.
It seems like the style of play that they've come out with, this tournament so far early has just made Tacoma uncomfortable. And it's just, they haven't been able to get their clean looks like they probably want. And it just isn't working.
Well, something's different. If you look at their league record, how they played, and the Snow Kings didn't beat them at all, something's flipped on them in this tournament so far. And since we didn't see them, it's hard to say what is the difference. But the Snow Kings have just looked really strong right now in the last two games.
Yeah, it seems like, of course, like you said, we haven't seen them. We've been on, in our season for most of the year, and we haven't been able to see these guys. So, what I've been trying to do is just talk to some of the people around the tournament and try to figure some things out. And it seems like it is a little bit of a surprise how this has come out. Maybe not the Sno King players personally. Maybe, earlier in the season they were having some trouble with personnel or something. You never know. And it seems like, injuries, as we know, as we have gone through, our team went through this season. Yep. Injuries were tough. You never know what happens, especially with a low bench. It's hard to get a team really motivated and going like that.
But I'm with you. The people I've talked to in between games and periods, that everyone's kind of seems surprised how Seattle's just handled the Rockets so far in these games, and that's talking to both sides. I've talked to some Seattle people, and I've talked to some Tacoma people, and it's universal. Like, this isn't going like kind of how the script was supposed to look like. So, whatever it is, Seattle's done an outstanding job of turning this around because they've looked stout in this tournament.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, what does Tacoma do? I think they just need to go back and figure out what's wrong. Maybe even if it's a late night for the coaches, you're not playing tomorrow, right? So you're not the one playing. You can go on a little less sleep. It's hard. As much as you need your sleep, it's easier as a coach to do that type of stuff because it's just going to be, you want to regroup, figure out what went wrong, what can we fix, and what is on the players.
Yeah, they need to come up with a different game plan. There's no question about that. And I'm sure they'll stay up late trying to break this down. Like, okay, where did we get off the rails on this? Because, again, they started off both games extremely well. And it just kind of went downhill after they kept getting that lead.
Yeah, it just seems like, maybe it's a loss of faith almost, after the third goal. Or, maybe it's a series of small mistakes over an amount of time, or is it one big mistake? You just have to figure that out sooner rather than later because you do got to turn around and play Tri-Cities at 9:30 in the morning tomorrow here at URC.
And that's where I wish we would have got to see some of these teams play before this tournament because we can get an idea of, okay, this is what definitely they're not doing like they used to during the league. And so it's just speculation on this part, but Seattle's just done an outstanding job. especially when they went down 1-0 today in this game here. They didn't skip a beat. It didn't seem to bother them at all. And same way as when the earlier game when they were down 2. Didn't bother them. They just kept chugging along. And that's how they're playing. Here comes another quick shot. Hit off the post. That's Parhar that hit the post off that one.
And I think that's a very nice little save by Crayon, but it seems like that is very descriptive of how their play's been so far, leaving guy wide open in front of the net on a 5-on-4 power play at the time with no one around him, and it just seems like nobody's checking around them, making sure they got their guy, and maybe some miscommunication. So I'm very, very interested to see, how they come out tomorrow morning against Tri-Cities. What team is going to come out against Tri-Cities tomorrow morning?
Because you can't win that many games and basically played this style in the second game. The first game they had a solid outing. But again, I don't want to take anything away from Seattle. They've done a superb job.
And they have. They really, really have. I know we've been talking about more of the faults of how Tacoma's been playing, but Sno-King has caused a lot of those faults to an extent. They're creating the havoc. They're creating, these plays in front of the net that, cause havoc for Blum down there. And it just makes it just, a hard game to get out of your own habits.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that they just need to just keep this way up. I'm very interested to see how Sno-King will match up on Saturday against Tri-Cities. They got the day off tomorrow, which will be nice for them.
Nice little play by Punchkin. He was looking to kick the puck over to Parhar. And here comes Ballard. But I know one thing. I don't know how many times Tri-Cities played the Sno-Kings, but if they're watched this game at all, this line right here, I'd be extremely nervous with, and I would zero in on this line. How are you going to shut them down? And then the way Colran has played in net, they're a very, very solid hockey team, and you got to give them kudos.
They've been very, very, very good. I mean, Crayon seemed a little shaky early in the first game, has really come back and bounced back very, very well here in this second game, letting up only the 1 goal so far. Not to jinx them.
You just did. Way to go, Keegan. I'm hoping nobody that knows him listen to that, because, right when you said it.
I'm going to just put it out now. I'm saying a formal apology to Diesel.
Wow.
If anybody can get this to him, that one's on me. I'll even say that one's on me.
Brandon Barron, he was just there at the right time, and that again. Now this might be enough to get Tacoma back into things, and then tomorrow they come back as a different squad. But holy mackerel!
I mean, it was a great play by Tacoma, though. That's what they need to get back to.
Yeah,
is that basic of guy in front of the net, tip right in front, wide open net for the back door. There's nothing Crayon could really do there.
No.
His defense didn't really pick up that guy.
Yeah.
And I'll just apologize again to Diesel Crayon. Crayon, Ron, I apologize. That one's on me. That was like a kicker's curse in the NFL.
That was
funny. He hasn't missed a kick all year, and then they missed that next kick. That one's on me.
But see, now right there, that looked like Tacoma in that first game. They were set up, they were in the right spot, and they got a goal on it. So it'll be interesting how that gets them offensively. Maybe that'll give them enough jump start. And if they can pop another one in the next 4:13 of this period, that could go a long ways to helping them tomorrow morning.
I think that also, while you got to figure out what's wrong, you got to find what went right.
Yep.
What caused us to get these goals? What caused us to get these good chances? And maybe it's look at a video, whatever they need to do. And I think it's they've been good so far. In when they get their goals, they've come off of good plays, and I think they just need to find out how do we generate more of those?
And I think what would help them too is what is Seattle doing differently that they didn't do during the year? Because it's pretty apparent Seattle's changed something for them to come out and win 2 games, and they didn't win at all this year when they played them.
Exactly.
So Seattle's doing something differently, and that's where the coaching staff's got to figure out, okay, what do they do to us that they haven't done this whole year? But again, Tacoma's a good enough hockey team to bounce back, but there's Rogers in there. He's hammering the puck. This line is just a force. And I don't know how many points this line got throughout the year, but I'd be surprised if they didn't get the bulk of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if they got most of those points because they've been very, very all over the score sheet, both games. Breaking down the schedule for tomorrow, it's going to be interesting to see how they, come out against Tri-Cities.
Again, we haven't seen Tri-Cities play, but I'll tell you one thing, Seattle's going to be a handful if they keep playing like this. One thing I like what the Seattle coaching staff's done, they got Ballard paired up with Sweeney and Morris. So they're led their stay-at-home defensemen, which Morris and Sweeney are really, really talented at, and giving the free rein to Ballard, who's obviously an offensive-minded defenseman. And so they paired him up really well. Nice stop by Kieran. He's had a strong 2 games, too. He's played really, really well. Hasn't let in any soft goals. And Blum hasn't really either. If you look at it, he's had some good saves in this, but Seattle was just too much to deal with right now.
Yeah, just looking at the schedule tomorrow 9:30 Tri-Cities against Tacoma. First thing here for the 18Us. Then we go up to the 16Us, which will be fun. Spokane versus Seattle Junior at 2:00. And then back here, Tacoma versus Tri-Cities at 4:15. And then Sno-King and Tacoma for the 16Us at 6:30.
And my understanding, we're going to have a guest announcer, one that does color for the Spokane team. He's going to come and join us on the broadcast, so that'll be interesting since he knows the team really well.
And that would be nice to have because we need that. It's we haven't been able to see these teams, and so getting some insight as much as we can, will be great. I'm excited to see these 16U teams as well. I think that's going to be some very, very good hockey.
Well, there's a player, and he plays for Tacoma, that is definitely going to be an Eagle. And as soon as he graduates, I've scouted him a couple times. I saw him down in Vegas. I saw him here when his team played in Spokane. And he's an outstanding defenseman.
Stetcher tried to chip by. Some physicality here. Rogers blocked him off. Still kind of going back and forth as here comes Bushkin again. 1:20 left here in the third.
It'd be nice if we could find, and we can't find really any statistics on these guys, but I'd like to know how many goals Bushkin got this year.
It seems like a lot because every time he has scored, he's been very, very like, oh, I've done this before. Yeah. So that's stereotypical of a guy to me that is very humble when he scores, but has done it before, been there before, and it seems like a guy that has good, hardworking attitude.
He's very methodical when he gets that puck. He's an outstanding player, a joy to watch. We got 1:05 left in this period, 7-2. The Sno-Kings over the Tacoma Rockets.
I wish I was like that where I could not celebrate my goals. I would just like to have a goal.
Oh, Keegan, don't cut yourself short. You're a stud out there. You're being humble on me. You forget I've watched every game that Eastern played. So, a little tip by Sean into the Sno-Kings bench. That was a class act. He went over there and apologized. He didn't mean to do it on purpose. That was a class act by him.
Usually you don't mean to do it on purpose. I've seen it done on purpose.
Yeah, so have I. I can think of a couple teams in the back eight that. No, I'd say that's fine.
Yeah. Maybe when you're
I'm
playing
not
juniors, had some violations on the bench.
I'm
Maybe you
not
can clip
gonna-
one of them.
I'm not going to mention who they are, but yeah, I say a couple teams that. Yeah, that was on purpose. 32 seconds left in this period. Again, now you just don't want any injuries. Just get the game over with. Pick it up tomorrow.
Ooh.
Seth Morris decided he wanted to take another hit.
I think for guys like that, it's hard to turn that off.
Oh, you can.
You know, even at a 7-2 game, you don't want to turn that off. You want to stay in your game because you don't want to be complacent.
No, that's his style. Let him play his style. He knows what he's doing out there. He's an outstanding defenseman.
As the clock ticks down, and that will do it. Sno-King comes in, sweeps Tacoma in the 2-game series on Thursday.
That was.
I'm very, very interested to see this game tomorrow. I think that, if Sno-King could come out and play the same way, I think they could give Tacoma, not Tacoma, Tri-City some fits, and I'm very interested to see how this goes.
Well, it'll be interesting if they start off hot, which they did actually the last 2 games earlier today and tonight. They didn't really start off what I would consider hot. But if they keep their rhythm like this, they're going to give Tri-Cities fits. And again, I haven't seen Tri-Cities, but Seattle's been impressive these 2 games. Very impressive. But Keegan, thanks for jumping in on here and joining me. We'll do this back here tomorrow at the URC on Eastern Washington Unity's campus. And we'll be back 9:30 a.m. start. We'll watch Tri-Cities play the Sno-Kings. And
Tri-City versus Sno-King here in the 18U division.
So we will be back tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. If you're in Cheney, definitely make sure you hit down to Barrel House or Farmhouse Restaurant. Again, thank you to the Holiday Inn Suites here in Cheney and Doubletree Hilton Hotels Spokane Center for their support, along with Farmhouse Restaurant, Barrel House, Pizza, Tea Party Podcast, Box for Fighting Apparel. We appreciate their support. They've been with the Eagles for a long time. Anyway, thank you, Keegan. We'll join up. Thank you, Harper, for being on the camera. She does an outstanding job. She's been doing this for all Eastern games this year. Outstanding camera person. But we will pick it up tomorrow, and thank you for joining us. Good night.